Hello guys, Mr. Fluffy Pants here. Today guys, I'm reviewing the Shawshank Redemption, which was released in 1994 and is based off a Stephen King book, but it's not a horror movie, but and this is honestly, like, this first time I watched it, honestly, this is probably one of the best movies I've ever watched. Like, it's on, like, definitely, like, top 3, at least top 5 movies of all time, in my opinion. Like, this movie is absolutely wonderful, and I do think this is kind of on the same level as like Forrest Gump for me, where like this movie's just, you have to watch it every time you see it on TV or whatever. But the story is pretty much about Andy Dufresne, which is played by Tim Robbins, which, let me just say, he is absolutely, like, probably one of the all-time epic movie roles of all time is Andy Dufresne. And same thing with Morgan Freeman's Red. Like, oh my goodness, they're so good in this movie. But pretty much he gets put behind bars for murdering his wife and her estranged lover, which we learn later he didn't really do it, but he gets 2 life sentences for it, and is sentenced to Shawshank prison, which at first he's just really quiet or whatever, but he goes on this amazing journey through like, I think it's like 20 something years or something like that. But and he makes friends along the way, like Red and some of Red's friends or whatever. But and he even makes like friends with like the guards and the warden. Like, I absolutely love the scene where he sticks up to Captain Hadley or whatever his name is. I think that's his name. Played by Clancy Brown, but on the roof, and he almost gets pushed off, and he ends up getting beers for all of his friends or whatever. He didn't even want it for himself, so he's just absolutely amazing character. Like, I love him so much. I was on the edge of my seat seeing what was going to happen next, and I was just like, especially whenever he's in the room and he's playing the record over the loudspeaker. Just amazing. There's so many just awesome, like, classic scenes I can see in this movie, like especially that one at the end where he escapes, and he's looking up into the sky in the rain and all that, which over 20 years he uses a rock pick to dig a tunnel out or whatever. But it's not until the warden pretty much kills the only guy that can really get him out of his sentence or whatever, because he actually heard a guy confess to the crimes or whatever. So the warden pretty much shoots him, and the warden is just the main bad guy of the movie. Like, he's such a dick by the end of it, but I feel like at first he wasn't like a bad guy per se. He was just kind of a dick, but by the end he's just straight up bad guy. And whenever Andy like leaks all the books or whatever, and pretty much gets the warden in trouble before he's arrested, he shoots himself in the head. But Captain Hadley gets arrested and all that, which he did beat a guy to death. But I actually kind of liked him after he kind of befriended Andy, even though it was for his own selfish purposes. Like, and I love the and it's so tragic, but when Andy keeps getting sexually harassed by the sisters, whatever they're called, I actually love the part where they beat him so bad he's in the infirmary for a week, and then the guy that actually beat him, he comes back to his cell, and since Andy actually helped out, the captain and all that. They're just waiting there, and they beat him so much that, he can't even walk again, just, protect their asset, I guess. But you can see by the end of it, that Warren just gets so money hungry and greedy that, he don't want Andy out of prison, because, he's using to his own, selfish, purposes or whatever. And, I love, Andy's whole thing about the library, and they're like, okay, we're gonna send you money now, just stop writing us. But it's just, honestly, this movie is just so good, and it really does also bring up the point of like rehabilitation after so long you become institutionalized. Like Brooks, he just couldn't make it out in the the free world, and Red said he probably couldn't either if it wasn't for that promise he made Andy, which was to go get that little note and that money or whatever from under that rock, which that's just an amazing scene too. But the actual escape thing or something, that he has to climb through the tunnel and crawl through a river of shit, as they put it, for 5 miles or 500 yards, is just absolutely, like, mind-blowing. That's probably one of the most classic scenes people know from this movie. But just some of the smaller scenes too, like Red and Andy getting to know each other, and him carving out his little chess pieces, and them getting the rocks for him and all that. It's just absolutely amazing. And I guess this movie kind of started the trope of this guy can get you anything you want in prison, or because of Red. And I think that wasn't really a thing before this or whatever, but And also, Andy's dreams of getting out. He's going to go to Mexico, open up a little motel, and fix up a boat and take some tourists out. Actually, seems like it's come true in that whole ending scene. I started getting goosebumps whenever, they saw each other again, which, that's just amazing. But this movie is honestly one of the best movies of all time, and it's definitely one of my favorite movies of all time now. Like, I absolutely adore this movie. I cannot believe I haven't watched it up until now, but I'm actually going to give this movie a perfect 10 out of 10. Like, this movie kept me grit through. It's a long movie, too, 2 hours and 24 minutes or something like that, which that's really my only negative is, it's really long, but I love every minute of it. And this is definitely one of my all-time favorites. Like I said, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. But anyway, guys, leave your thoughts down below. And do you guys love this movie as much as I do? That seems to be a consensus. And I guess I even like Stephen King movies that are not horror. Like, I absolutely love Stephen King movies. But check out my Twitter and Discord, link in the description. Like and subscribe for more. Check out some other videos, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!